Avocado.
You are now listening to The Young God, a podcast for the gods. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Young God. I'm your host Rodney. I hope this week has been good. No, in fact, I hope the second half of this year is looking good for you because Lord knows it's been real. Cherish every little win, stay present, and whatever you do, let love lead the way. If this is your first time tuning in, this is your lucky day because, dare I say, this podcast is incredible. It is fantastic. It is the shit. It is just a joy to host, to produce. And if I were you guys, I would listen to this thing every day. There are over 80 other episodes for you to choose from once you're done with this one. So do get listening and, feel the vibe. So one of the things I love to do on this podcast is I love to pick the brains of fascinating people, fantastic people, high quality men and women, gods, as I like to call them. I also love to share my own unique point of view on all kinds of things. It's a show that will delight you, make you think, and put you onto new things. Do subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend, do the needful. And you can take it one step further by following the podcast on Instagram at The Young God Pod or Twitter at I Am The Young God. I share exclusive content behind the scenes and other quality info that is, for the gods among us. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's hear what the DJ has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest is one of Nigeria's most high-quality individuals, a class act everywhere he goes, a master on the ones and twos, a god in his own right, even though he doesn't like to hear that just yet. I give you DJ Obi. You're welcome, my brother.
Thank you so much, man. G. How are you?
I'm very, very well. And let me just say that I appreciate you taking time to do this with me because you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me. So let's make it a good one.
Thanks, my G. I'm ready. Let's rock.
So what's good now? How's lockdown treating you? Since February till now? What has changed?
Truthfully, it's been it hasn't been bad, It's been creative for me.
Yeah?
Hold on a second. Yeah. I mean, because with the IG live that I've been able to achieve, I've been able to grow my brand to a certain kind of level now. So it's kind of just worked out for me, honestly speaking. I'm kind of like...
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it was just a good time to even reflect and re-strategize. I think, the whole Corona thing was a great way for God to pause everybody and just kind of making sure that everybody... bringing everybody back to basis, if that's the right way to put it.
Yeah.
Reeling everybody back in, So far it's not bad for me, honestly speaking. I mean, it sucks that it's tragic times and it's a tragic story, but so far, honestly, God has been pulling through for me.
What's funny is that the kind of life that we live, trying to achieve, trying to do the most, there's almost no real opportunity to pause. Even on a holiday, you're still working. You're still trying to go here and do this and do that. But this just...
Yeah, it's funny how you say that because I feel like the first month of the quarantine also felt like a mini vacation.
Yeah.
Just because, it was it was a break from everybody's busy schedule, So it kind of worked out as a quick, mini vacation for everybody. So, but then after that first month, it just, reality kicked in where it was like, okay, this COVID thing is serious, Yeah.
So, what was it like, as a guy who's always, going from one location to the other and just being in one place for 4 months straight?
I mean, one of the things that love doing was traveling. So I definitely missed that, you know. But it feels good to be home, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I would rather be stranded at home than stranded in a foreign land, you know. But it's taking some readjusting because normally around this time I would have been, you know, in the States or in London doing something or so, you know, Afro Nation or something, you know, something, sure.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like I said, it's just a good time to kind of bring reality or bring your center back to real life. You know, sometimes you get caught up in a fantasy when you do what we do for work. So this is a great reality check for a lot of us.
For sure, man. For sure. Like it just dawned on us that we've all been running this race, and there's really like, damn, like you can actually stop and you didn't die. You know, like you can sit down in one place.
You know, like I was telling people that we should be happy we're alive because the truth is, this COVID pausing could have been the whole world, you know, crumbling. Honestly speaking, this could have been everybody dying.
Yeah.
If you think about it, the way it's spread, you know. So let's just thank God for life, honestly speaking.
I think by the time we get to 2021, we'll just be all doing Thanksgiving in church or something because we made it, man. Because it's that kind of thing. Like
I told my friends that just like New Year's Eve is gonna hit different this year.
Bro,
New Year's Eve service is gonna hit different this year.
Bro, crossover for real, man.
It's gonna hit very different this year. So let's see how it goes.
Okay,
yeah, man.
So with the lockdown, there's been like so many TikTok challenges popping up, you know, from left, right, and center. And unbeknownst to most people, you were doing challenges before they were cool. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? A lot of people listening may not know this, but you hold the record for the longest DJ set ever. Please tell them what it is.
I did.
Tell them.
I did 230 hours. 230 hours non-stop DJing in 2016. So literally around this time, 4 years ago, pretty much. Yeah, it was a crazy time in my life, but we pulled through. We were able to make it work, you know. So
what's funny is you started on the 22nd of June that year.
And I ended, yes, exactly, yes.
Today is the 29th of June. So which means that
this time 4 years ago, I was still playing.
You were on your last legs, bro. How did you make it to how did you find you know what I mean, bro?
I know, it was crazy. I mean, truthfully, man, it was a mind over matter thing. Thank you. Truthfully, was a mind over matter thing where like I had already done it in my head, so it was almost just to physically do it, you know. And I think that's really how I pulled through, because like everybody keeps asking me, "Oh, what were you on?" I'm like, I wasn't on nothing. I was on pure food and what you call it, water. You know, I couldn't take anything else. You know, I couldn't do alcohol. I couldn't do too much sugar just because, you know, it will crash. I'll sleep off. You know, after the sugar rush, you know, and everything. So, but we made it.
So
we made it.
How did you come up with the idea to do it though?
Truthfully, it was from a music conference where like they were discussing. It was I forgot the name of the music conference, you know, and they had this music rep from Channel O who was discussing, you know, different marketing strategies and brought up the fact that Black Coffee had attempted to do it, and that was what sparked the idea for me in my head. It was kind of just like, you know, let me try and attempt to do this thing that Black Coffee tried to do. When I checked it on Google, it said that it was an attempt, so he didn't actually. I mean, he was talking about it, but he didn't actually do it. So it was just kind of like, okay, that's a perfect PR plan to try and execute, you know. Right. And that was really what gave it the idea.
Okay. Yeah, so
it was really just a PR stunt that I you know, that was just, you know, I really wanted it to boost my brand and my name out there. Yeah. And it did exactly what I wanted it to do, honestly speaking.
Yeah, actually it did. It did. In fact, reasoning, I checked out the rules of the record, right? And maybe you might forget some of them, but let me refresh your memory real quick. It was, and for those of you listening right now, in order for the record to be legit, he had to meet the following criteria. He could only take a 5-minute break every hour. He had to have someone dancing on the dance floor at all times. He could not repeat a song within 4 hours of playing it. And he was allowed a 1-hour break every 12 hours, as well as medical checks and massages, and also vitamin doses. God damn.
You make it sound like it was fun, dude. It wasn't that much fun, I can tell you that.
It wasn't fun, man. I'm looking at it, man. I'm reasoning it. I'm putting myself in your shoes, especially as a guy who has dabbled in DJing. Like, I had like 1 week in college where I was just like fucking around with some shit. So I know that this isn't beans, man. And you made it, bro. Like, that's what gods are made of, man. Truth be told. That's why you're here, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I feel like you paid your dues in those 230 hours.
Almost. I swear, because man, I could have died pretty much. So
yeah,
that was definitely me paying my dues for something that I'm definitely passionate about.
Yeah, if I was you, I'll put it on my forehead. I did that shit, man. Like, put some respect on my name.
Nah, I feel you.
Because I feel like, you paid it forward, so to speak. So, like, most of us, what we're doing is, like, we're playing a very long game, trying to do the right things and, like, build a track record and just build things step by step, but then what you did was, like, you paid everything forward in those 240 hours. So, basically, what people would do in 6 years, you did it in 10 days.
Facts. It's crazy. I'm getting me flashbacks now.
Shit, you should, man. Because, because we talk about being great all the time. Everybody wants to be great. Everybody wants to do, something that is remembered and is noteworthy. And then when the price comes calling, most of us fall short. And then here I am talking to a guy who did the shit.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, for what I always like to tell people out there is just talk less about it. Just it's like Diddy back in the day. Talk, don't talk about it, be about it. Yeah. So just put like when you're convinced that it's something that you want to do, just go ahead and do it versus discussing it. Not everybody's energy vibes, marries your energy. Yeah. Not everybody's truly happy for you. So some things you have to keep to yourself,
For sure.
And you just execute and let the success of it speak for you.
So that means you kept this whole thing under wraps before you started. Like, you weren't like trying to say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this."
Yeah,
you just did it.
I couldn't. It was just myself and my manager Asa at the time that knew anything about it.
Okay.
So yeah, we worked in silence till it was ready to go, kind of thing.
I also heard that primary school kids came to watch you do your thing.
Bro, high school kids, primary school kids, people brought their parents. I remember someone bringing his dad that was a doctor to talk to me about the risk of what I was doing and blah blah blah. And he just came and the guy just came to make sure that I knew what I was getting into. So and I made a lot of friends from that. There's still some people that I met during that process that I'm still friends with today as well.
God, you could have died, dude. Forget.
I know. No be small dreams at all.
Man, we thank God for you. We do, really, honestly. Like,
thanks, my G. Thanks, brother.
And speaking of death, let's talk about Kobe real quick, because that Mamba mentality is literally what you tapped into to get that shit done.
Kobe has been an idol from day one. I was not necessarily a Lakers fan. I was a Kobe fan.
Yeah.
So Kobe for me was definitely an inspiration, motivation. Watching him come in the league, watching the way he played. Imagine playing against your idol. Imagine if you're a footballer, you have to play against Maradona. That's even fine. Imagine if you have to play with JJ or Kocha. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's just a pickup game, bro. You know how like mind blowing that would be to be tapping ball with JJ You know, Kobe got to experience playing with some of the greats. He became even greater, you know. So when he passed, it was very shocking. It was, you know, I did feel it just because it felt like, one of my guys was gone, you know, that kind of thing. Like, I definitely looked up to Kobe for, like you said, Mamba mentality and just class. You know, even in the face of scandal, bro, you have to give Kobe his props. He came out and said, "Yeah, I did it," but you know, whatever she's saying is, you know, I can't even remember the full details, but you know, he apologized, and that's, you know, that's like, it's tough. A lot of the guys that happened to be in his shoes at that point in time would have never admitted to it or come out to apologize like that. But he handled it like a man. He didn't let it linger for too long. And that was one of the things I remember about that case.
Yeah.
It didn't linger for too long. Like, he came out, we didn't hear from Kobe at all. And the next thing, when he came out, he came out with his wife and they apologized. That was, you know, to me, that was victory for them. That was conquering, you know, because he's still a man at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. Like, guys will fall every now and then, you know. But the way he came back from that was powerful. So I was, you know, he was a person that I respected a lot and looked up to for, you know, inspiration and stuff.
I wish a certain Nigerian celebrity would have taken a leaf from that page. You know, if we're keeping it 100. Yeah.
I mean, honestly speaking, that one too hits home for me, but I just hope all I really want from the whole thing is truth. That's it. You know? That's all I want. Truth. So I will leave it at that.
Moving from Kobe, we can go on to The Last Dance. Did you watch that?
I watched a few episodes. I haven't finished watching it, but very inspirational. I think it's the perfect way to go about a Michael Jordan documentary, honestly speaking. There's no way we would have learned about Jordan in just one movie or just 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that it was a series, because you have to touch on different parts of Michael Jordan's life. He wasn't just a basketball player. He just wasn't the greatest basketball player. There was a lot of business along, you know, that came with his brand. And there was a lot of, you know, personal stuff as well. So watching it, you know, and getting to, you know, see an inside scope to how the chemistry between the teammates and the management, that's something we never saw growing up as, you know, Chicago Bulls fans or Michael Jordan fans. So I enjoyed watching that. But I've not finished the episodes.
Yeah, what stood out to me was just the sheer amount of archival footage they had from like 20, 30 years ago.
That's one thing that we don't do in Nigeria. Have you seen this Defiant ones, the one with Dr. Dre?
Yes, I have.
Bro, look at the footage they have and all of that, like archives of pictures from Jimmy Iovine when he was 17, bro. Jimmy Iovine is like 60 plus right now. Bro, that's one thing that we need to start doing in Nigeria, preserving our history and our culture. And it's as simple as taking pictures, honestly speaking. Not even profound moment pictures, because I think as Nigerians, that's one thing we always look for, is like the most profound moment, the most epic. Bro, imagine if you had pictures of Wiz in the studio in Surulere when he was really just nobody. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be recording anything, but pictures like that, if, you know, this kid in the back while Two-Face is recording and he's sitting in the back, you know, if somebody captured that moment, but no one did, you know, even if it wasn't picture or video or something, but it's one of those things that we never really consider out here, and we should.
Yeah, it's one of those things in Nigeria where we find it hard to stay in the moment. Everybody's always thinking to the next thing. So even if there's a picture to be taken in that moment, nobody would have, because no one is really there. Everyone is trying to either soak up, you know, that Two-Face, you know, he's right there, or whatever else is going on in people's lives. But I feel like that Last Dance thing, and what you just mentioned is spot on, because we should be able to tell like really, really in-depth stories with some of this footage and pictures when the time comes, and we may never get the chance to
see it or to tell the story properly. I know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, I saw footage of Kobe before he was even selected by the draft.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
You get that kind of thing. Like somebody was already seeing the foresight in that this guy could be a star.
And they did that. This guy will be a star. And even aside from that, I think the NBA at this point just always kind of follows everybody's story to a certain extent, you know, because at some point everybody's gonna become some kind of, you know, talkable person, even if it's for bad things. Like I forgot that guy, or even for Dennis Rodman. I saw the episode of Dennis Rodman. You see how they followed his story, like you know, you never, So there's different. I feel like the NBA, or you know, people that do sports films already just kind of look out for different players and try to capture their story, you know, at different times.
Bro, that was for me, you know, the thing. Then also, obviously, just the fact that, you know, when we talk about Kobe's Mamba mentality, we can't forget that Jordan had like the end all be all of all mentalities when it comes to getting shit done.
Yeah, to the last day, he was, you know, even when he tried to play baseball, you know. Yeah.
I feel like if it was a DJ, he would have beaten your record by 60 hours. He would see what you did and be like, I'm taking this personally.
I know.
Yo, okay.
Yeah,
so how do you live out the Mamba mentality in your own life? Like, how do you like try to approach certain things that are important to you?
I mean, honestly, bro, I can't lie to you. Like, I just try to motivate myself as much as possible. You know, I try to be intentional about, you know, achieving my goals. You know, or setting reasonable standards and not overshooting myself. You know, that kind of thing. So I think that's one of the first things to do. Is not. Some people can be so inspired and motivated that they overshoot. And they do more than they're capable of. So I try to be more realistic with my goals so that it's easier to achieve, you know.
That's what's up.
But also understanding that, you know, impossible is nothing. So you can really achieve anything, just step by step at the same time.
Yeah, because you know what? If you take it back, right, to connect what you just said, I found out that the record before yours was 200 hours.
Yeah.
And then you did 230 hours. So would you say
to break a record and set a record?
Yeah. So would you say that you overshot yourself?
No, because at the end of the day, I had to break the record, but I also had to like raise the bar. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't just break the record with even 1 minute. You know, I had to break the record. When you break the record, it makes more sense to set the record, you know?
Sure. At least now, before anybody wants to try and overcome it, the fear of God will set them straight. Like you could die if you reach 240. Yeah.
I know.
Oh man, that's why I respect what Ronaldo is doing right now. Like Ronaldo, that's Ronaldo, CR7. He could retire tomorrow if he wanted, but he wants to make sure that before you dare come for his goal scoring record, you know.
Yeah, you would have worked very hard.
Yes, you can't be no Messi. You can't just be a talented guy to break it. That's what he's saying.
True. Yeah, man.
So what issues out there are catching your attention in the world out today?
I mean, honestly, with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, it's definitely a matter of concern for me. Just because I grew up, like I said, I was born in the States, so I went to uni in the States, and that could have been me, bro. You know, because I think about how many random times I was in random scenarios where the same scenarios, these people were getting, you know, killed. Yeah. I've been pulled over by police so many times. Are you not telling me that more to those times could have been the end of my life at one point in time, you know? So it definitely shakes me off a little bit. But aside from that, is this, you know, equality. How do I put it now? The girl child movement out here in Nigeria, is something that gives me a thing of concern.
Yes.
So it's very worrisome to hear that some grown men think that it's okay to marry a 12-year-old girl, or
Man, I think even from there, like, you can see like how that offshoots into the other issues we have in the country in terms of violence against
mentality,
women, sexual violence. It's like, because I heard that, the story of the girl who was raped and killed in church. I think about that.
Last weekend.
I think about the 11-year-old who was raped by 11 guys.
That's crazy. I
think about Toyin.
Yeah. And
it's
so
like,
sad, man.
It's because the government or the powers that be have made it okay to marry a girl as soon as she has eyes open. You get that? I think it starts from there.
It's so sad, man. That's so sad.
Yeah, man. Actually, that's a good one to point out. And in fact, recently I caught flack on social media because I had a very ignorant point of view that I was called to
order
on it, and I had to like even apologize publicly for it, and it really got me, thinking about how I can contribute and use my platform, to speak more and just play my part in these things.
And then also, I'm sure it's a good lesson on how to be sensitive about the issue.
Of course,
that's why when we spoke briefly about what we were talking about, you just kind of have to let it. It's sensitive, bro. So it's almost one of those things. Like if you don't know what to say, just kind of go and learn about it first.
Yeah,
and then figure it out from there.
That's it, man. Hopefully, one conversation at a time. I think we'll get to the promised land at some point. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's better than being quiet and not doing anything, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly, man. I definitely think 2020 is that year that is a lot of change happening. The world has forced us to change. Like at this point in time, the world is not even waiting for us to change. The world is forcing the change.
It's like imagine you commit a crime, right, and you go to prison, and then now you're in prison for like, let's say 10 years. Let's say like Malcolm X was in prison for like 10 years, right? And in those 10 years, he was able to become really reflective and like really know what's important and how to like go about things. I feel like it's the same thing for us right now. Lockdown was kind of like a little prison that helped us get in focus about what was important, because there was nobody's chasing any money or deals so stressfully like that these days. So if there's an issue in front of us, you can actually like focus and deal with it, as opposed to having our attention in different places like usual.
True. Now we can refocus.
Yeah. And the one of the last things I wanted to speak to you about is HushPuppi. What did you make of all of
that? I mean, the puppy's been hushed, right?
Yes, well said.
Honestly speaking, bro, I'm a very non-judgmental person, right? So for whatever, like he had, I would just say he had what was coming to him. I'm also an advocate of just not deceiving people. So because now that everything has happened, I never really followed him. I always heard the name, kind of gone back to look at some posts and just seeing him try to be a motivational speaker. And I was just like, that doesn't apply to the lifestyle you were living. So now the people that you were motivating, how would it feel if someone now starts a hashtag free HushPuppi? Like, for what reason? Why? You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he motivated you, but then what he did wasn't necessarily motivational, So I mean, if I was in his shoes, I would render my services to the American government so that they can reduce my sentence. You understand?
Straight up now, as per he won't even carry last in that department. He would definitely find a way to get a deal. But For me, when I think of HushPuppi, I mean, when you take the morality and the legality of things aside, this guy was epic, man. This guy,
He was epic.
Think about it. He had access, right, to a life that many can only dream of.
A lot of people, like even people older than him,
even people as rich as him.
even people as rich as him. I mean,
do you get? So it's one of those things where if you had the choice to choose between working honestly with only a possibility of being successful or have illegal access to billions of dollars to live your best life for 5 years, after which you go to jail, which one will you take?
Wait, repeat that.
If you had to choose between working honestly for the rest of your life with only a possibility of being successful or have illegal access to billions of dollars, live your best life for 5 years, after which you go to jail, which would you take?
Nah, I'll still take the first option.
Exactly. Most of us would take the first option. HushPuppi chose the 5 years to do the absolute most. Bro, you know what it means to have $40.9 million cash in your house chilling?
In your house chilling, bro. Raw cash, bro. There's some banks that don't even have that in the vault, my G.
Bro. This guy successfully defrauded 1.9 million people without getting caught. Bro, that's the equivalent of 500 hours of what you did. That's
crazy. That is crazy.
So I can respect.
That's a lot of man hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of. So I can respect his hustle. I can respect his work ethic, his Mamba mentality, so to speak. You know, yeah, and his ability to live it large. He was like, man, they're gonna catch me either way, so I'm gonna as well just do the fucking most.
Live it up, yeah.
You know, they're gonna make movies about me. Like, even do you know how fucking dope you have to be for the Dubai police to make a fucking trailer off your ass?
Crazy,
bro. Even this guy, what's his name? This guy, Wolf of Wall Street guy. What's his name? No, not that guy. The guy who did the first Ponzi scheme.
Oh, can't remember.
Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, Madoff. There you go.
Like, there have been so many scammers in history, people who have done all kinds of things, but none of them have a fucking trailer.
I mean, theirs was white collar crime. I mean, he's still under that white collar department. Sure.
Yo, man, and if we to take it a step further, it's like you can believe that the FBI and all those guys, those organizations, they love people like HushPuppi. They give them a reason to wake up in the morning. Don't you know?
I mean, without people like HushPuppi, they won't have a job. Let's put it that way.
You know, they get to test their mettle against the best of the best, so that their departments keep getting money.
And keep getting, keep getting grants and funds and stuff like that.
So that's what I've been thinking about. You know, obviously Nigerians will start thinking, they start, you know how Nigerians are. Everything is about how people see us.
So we'll start thinking that is the thing to do.
No, like you know how people say now they'll see that Nigerians are fraudsters, as if that would like I don't think HushPuppi's arrest or any fraudster will ever make anyone not do business with Nigerians. As long as you have value.
Bro, HushPuppi was not the first. It's not the first Nigerian fraudster.
And he will not be the last.
He will not. So I mean, the guy, as you speak, I'm sure there are guys on their laptop right now.
I remember when I was in South Africa, I had a guy who was a fraudster, and he was a friend of mine, and I'll never forget. He said to me, "Rodney, I can show you how to do this stuff." Yeah, true story, bro. I was literally in the room with this guy, and he was doing it. And
I was clicking.
and it was clicking. I would see this guy. This guy was like buying like all these Golf GTIs. They were the thing then. He had like a nice house in one area in Santon that was popping.
Yeah.
You know, one Nigerian guy. In fact, the guy's from my village. The guy used to come to my house in the village on Christmas Day when we were younger to eat rice. And then in my final year in college, I ran into him in Mandela Square. And we caught up. We caught up, and next thing, he told me that that's what he does. He opened up like, this is what he does, that he's really good at it, and he can show me the way if I wanted to partake. I said, I'm good, bro. But, you know, it was tempting. I won't lie. I can tell you firsthand, it is quite a tempting way of life. Well, he's out now, Sha. He got
arrested.
No, he made his money and he dipped out quick. He's one of the good ones.
Okay, he's one of the smart ones now.
Yeah.
That's one of the lucky things, to be able to do something like that and tap out, because guys like HushPuppi saw the real life and kept going. The greed kept them there.
They couldn't stay away. Couldn't. You know.
It's sad. Yeah, man.
Oh man, that's sorry?
No, I was listening to you.
Yeah, that's really what it is for me, man. I'm done, you know, romanticizing about, oh, HushPuppi is setting a bad example. Oh, we are so greedy. Oh, this and that. All of that. I think everybody can make their choice in life to do what they want and pay the consequences. I'm just like, damn, this nigga actually did it.
He did.
He came from the bottom. He came from the bottom and disrupted millions of dollars from the world's most powerful people, basically.
Well, he's serving his time now, or getting ready to serve his time.
He will serve his time for sure, but I don't think you have any regrets. Do you think you have regrets?
Who, HushPuppi?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure he won't, because his freedom has been infringed.
You don't think
so he's gonna make it? No, I think he will have regrets. I think he will have a lot of regrets.
I don't know. Yeah. I think he's at peace, man. He did the damn thing.
But when you can't move around anymore, you've tasted it, now you can't have it. So it's a different feeling.
Well, but I think the way I see it is that he has like done it to the extreme. Like he has been as free as any man can be free in the world.
But that still came with a certain amount of greed that kept pushing him, so he's still gonna want more.
Yeah, true that. Okay, on a final note, what are you listening to these days? Let's keep it light before we head out.
I'm listening to Kabza the Small. It's Amapiano album that just came out. It's called I Am the King of Amapiano. So I'm listening to that, enjoying that vibe, right? And I'm listening to Omale. Oh, he's doing pretty good as well.
Did you see the tribute that Lil Wayne did to Kobe on BT last night?
No, I haven't watched the BT yet.
Yeah, he had a song called Kobe Bryant in 2009, I believe.
Okay, and he performed it?
Yeah, he performed it, but with a new second verse.
Oh, nice.
That was fire. So
yeah, I plan on catching up with that much later. Yeah, man. Dope. Man. That's dope.
DJ, we did it, man. Finally.
Thanks so much for having me, bro.
Yo,
no doubt, man.
This is gonna be a good one. I thank you for doing this with me.
Anytime, bro.
So yeah, guys, this was DJ OB. Do you have a nickname? Do you have, like, I see Durag will be up here. Do you have anything that people call you outside of DJ OB?
I know, just DJ OB. Durag will be something different. Yeah.
DJ OB. I wasn't even saying it right. DJ OB.
Yes, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me so much, man.
DJ OB, and this is the Young God. If you made it to the end of this episode, you're a real one. Thanks again for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, there's a whole lot more where that came from. Just scroll down, you'll see all the range of topics, guests, stories, whatever. I've put in some work for you guys. So there's something for everyone. I release episodes every Saturday at midnight. And depending on my mood, I might release 2 or 3. You know? I can be generous like that. So don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you feel so inspired. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And follow the podcast on Instagram at The Young God Pod and Twitter at I Am The Young God for exclusive content. And just, we're in this, man. Thanks again. Rodney Amakache, out.